All right, a packed room, live music, and thousands of young adults all gathering on their Tuesday night to worship God.
Steve visited Watermark Community Church in Dallas as we continue exploring the revival happening across the country, and he joined us from St. Timothy's Episcopal Church in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hey, Steve.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yep, I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where at St. Timothy's they tell us they're seeing a revival in church attendance with young people, led by high school and college students and young adults as well. This is something not just here at St. Timothy's, it's happening coast to coast right now. The question is, why is it happening? Well, for some answers, let's go to one of the most popular churches with young people in America. It is Watermark Community Church in Dallas, Texas, where they are packing the pews during the week. This looks like a busy dining hall on campus somewhere, but it's actually a church. Welcome to Watermark Community Church here in Dallas, where every Tuesday night, thousands of young people gather for something back in that auditorium called the Porch.
Welcome to the Porch.
Kylan here is one of the honchos for the Porch. Tell us what the Porch is.
Yeah, so the Porch is a gathering of young adults here in the city of Dallas, and they just gather to worship in the Word, but it's not just local, it's happening nationally. We've got locations all across the nation, and they're doing the exact same thing we're doing here.
And this is an actual place where people can come, and maybe they've never been to church, but suddenly they feel like they are part of something bigger.
We're seeing it here in Dallas by the thousands gathering into this room. We're not doing anything special. We're just singing worship and opening the Word, and yet there's something special about the person of Jesus that they're really fascinated by.
There are young adults all across our city that need to hear the good news of Jesus.
What was it when you went inside the auditorium to the Porch that a light went on?
It was just an authenticity. Also just the presence of God felt really tangible in this room. And so that made me just want to come back and back and back.
If you're looking for community, you can come. Or if you're just curious and you want to ask questions, anyone's welcome here. And so usually people are interested to just get connected and meet young people. And so it's a great place.
This is a great church. And you've got a coffee shop.
We do have a coffee shop.
My church has a pancake breakfast, but only once a month.
It's happening here, most definitely. God is on the move. Many of times I've been in that auditorium and have just been emotional because the presence of God is in that room.
Reagan, did you grow up going to church?
I actually did not. So I came to know Christ when I was 22 years old. I actually heard the gospel for the first time at the Porch. It felt like a truth that I was homesick for my entire life.
And what spoke to you?
Okay, so I am proof that the dating series works. They gave dating advice. That's what looped me in initially.
Oh, really?
I'll be honest, yes.
So you weren't looking for God, you were looking for a guy.
At the time, yes,
okay.
At the time. So it started with the dating series, but what got me to stay was the people and also the messages from stage.
I believe in your generation and what God is stirring inside of you and how He's using you to shape what's happening at this church.
Pastor T.A., we are here in Dallas, the buckle of the Bible Belt. How would you describe the message that you're presenting to the young people?
About 60% of our church is 30 years old or younger.
Wow.
And so when we think about crafting our services, we do think about what is going to connect to the heart of a young adult. More than the message, people come to church because of relationships. And when I talk to young adults, they are the ones who are talking to their Uber drivers.
Right.
They are the ones talking to their coworkers.
I often look at young adults as kind of the end of the river. And it's like, no, like young adults are really the mouth of it. If you think about it, young singles eventually become young marrieds,
Sure.
and young marrieds have kids. And so there's such a benefit to the church.
Why do you think more young people are going to church these days?
We live in a world where not many people we're connected by social media, but we're not really known, right? And so I think in the church setting, like that's completely different than what the world sees.
Simply put, we're hungry. We're hungry for truth.
We trying all the things of the world, the things culture's telling us, and they all keep coming short, right? They're leading to anxiety. They're leading to things where we just feel empty. And we're realizing where truth is actually found. And I think that's in life with Christ.
We've seen revivals take place pretty much across the U.S., and I don't think that there's any coincidence that those are all happening at the same time.
So it's interesting. What they're seeing is more Gen Zers and millennials are going to church now than their parents or their grandparents. That's a trend that used to be the other way around. And I was just talking to Father Allen here at St. Timothy's, and he tells us that this revival is actually being led by young men. Interestingly enough, it's not just people who are going to church, it's people who want to be involved in church. Yesterday, I went to Mass in Dallas, the 8 o'clock Mass. I was up early, and there was a millennial priest who celebrated the Mass. And as I go back to the couch, I'd just like to tell you, normally, I've heard at that church, the seminary class is 2 or 3, but this year, it is 15. So people across the board want to go back to God.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And you're right. It is a young male-led movement, and we're seeing more men, young men, going to church than young women. What do you think is the reason, Lawrence?
I don't know. I think people want something, Steve, you may agree or disagree, something bigger than themselves. And I think that's why it's happening across denominations.
That's right. And, you know, ever since the pandemic, they've seen the resurgence since the pandemic. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And invariably, they are led back to church. By the way, if you're interested in more information about The Porch, go to theporch.live, and you can see everything that's going on down in Dallas.
Yeah, it's also fueling a new way to meet people. I mean, it used to be that we had not long ago a run club, which was a way for young people to meet each other. But church has replaced the run club. Young people finding they could meet up at church before or after, and they might find a spouse.
Yeah, we saw that in that particular package. And what's interesting is in Dallas at the Porch, people are leaving work. As soon as they're done with work, they go to church, which, you know, once upon a time, they used to go to bars and happy hour. Now their happy hour is at church.
Right. Well, you can
Great
do
job,
both. Go to
Steve.
happy hour and then go to church.
That's how Brian rolls.
Or you can just go, you know, to Mass and then have some communion with you there, and you'll be fine.
Right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.